Yeah, good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay of 15 minutes. We had some technical issue. So, welcome to the monthly meet for July 2022. My name is Manish, and I'm the Vice President at NJ. So, let me start our presentation for this month. Is my screen visible? Hello?
हाँ, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, आपकी स्क्रीन विज़िबल है।
Okay, okay. So, once again, this is Manish Gadvi. So right now, what is happening to the equity market. There is a lot of stress, volatility, and in such times, it is always good to repeat all is well. And what I mean by that is, you have to remember these four things which are like our pillars, and you know you might have seen these things many times, but it helps if you repeat this whenever you feel that there is a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of volatility. I'm going to take 15, 20, 25 minutes for the presentation, and then we can take some questions and I can try to answer them. So let me go to the next slide. So this by demographics, we all know India is a young country. 53% of our people are below 25, but this data is as important as the demographics. 140 crore people, 132 crore Aadhaar cards, 102 crore adult population, 95 crore insurance policy holders. This is thanks to LIC. Bank account holders 79 crore, PAN card holders 43 crore, and registered taxpayers 8 crores, and only 3 crore mutual fund investors. So what this means is, even this 3 crores, let's say if I go back 10 years, this was probably not even 1 crore, right? So that 1 crore became 3 crores in the, let's say, the last 10 years. It will not stay at 10 crores as more and more partners, NJ, other distributors, they work hard to bring in people to this industry. This 3 crores will increase. So even if I say that all the registered taxpayers, the remaining 5 crore of them, they start an SIP of 5,000 rupees. Then what is 5,000 into 5 crore? That's 25,000 crores per month, which is 3 lakh crore a year. So that is the kind of money which will come in. It's just a matter of time that when it will come, but it will come in, right? And that is why a lot of fear about FII selling, that should not bother you. And we are just at the second bracket here, 8 crore registered taxpayers. The bracket above that, 43 crore PAN card holders, they will turn into taxpayers, they will come in. So we have a long, long, long time to go. And what we don't really need to worry about whatever is happening in the short term. Let me go to the next slide. And we have a very strong historical performance, and we have these heroes which I will show you. Nippon India Growth Fund, the current NAV is 1924. It started with 10 rupees, right? 21% CAGR. Franklin India Prima Fund 1352, see 18.70. Birla Flexi Cap 1028. Why I am using NAVs is because normal people would not understand, let's say, what is a 21.571% CAGR. But when you say something which was launched in, let's say, 1995, 96, is today the NAV is 2000, 200 times. That is what somebody can easily believe. So I think so, not just CAGR, you need to show them NAVs, and these are, I have two slides of them, and I think so these are our heroes of the industry. And this is not just one fund out of all the available funds in 25 years ago. These are phenomenal performers. So we have a strong history of performance, and each of these fund, which can be at 800 rupees NAV today or 2000 rupees NAV, would have gone through a similar period some point in time or various points in time, and yet this is where they are today. So we should take some solace in this fact that every fund which has delivered this kind of return has gone through such troubled times in the short term. So we have a history which we should look at. We should also this is something which is happening in the last 1 year especially, where the FIIs are selling equities, but the green lines are Indian equity investors or domestic institutional investors, which predominantly means mutual funds. So as you all know, we have a 10,000, 11,000 crore SIP book, which is 1 lakh crore, 1,20,000 crores a year. So in spite of the heavy FII selling, the market has not corrected that much, and domestic institutional investors are protecting the market by investing more, which is basically our SIPs or our investors. And this is not the first time there is a correction or there is volatility. We have there are like I said earlier, all of these funds which I showed you earlier, they've gone through troubled times or volatile times. So these are just some examples. 2001 World Trade Attack, 43% correction. Global financial crisis, 57% correction. European debt crisis, 26% correction. COVID, which is a very recent example, 38% correction. And what happened, when people invested in the bad times, what happened in the next one year, 3 year, 5 year? These are the examples of that. So bad times are actually opportunities to increase equity allocation, are actually opportunities to buy more, you know and this slide just proves that, okay, crisis is an opportunity. And what we have to ultimately remember is that time or n, the formula for future value is present value into 1 plus r is the rate of return, which is CAGR, and n is the number of years. So ultimately it is time that creates most of the wealth. So if somebody earns, let's say, 12% for 25 years versus, let's say, somebody who earns 24% for 5 or 10 years, who will make more money? The person who will invest n more, the number of years in that. And the other thing which I wanted to point out is that investors, even some partners, are obsessed with CAGR, whereas nobody is bothered about savings. So, to give you an example to prove this, drive home this point a little more, you know, instead of, let's say, you do a 5,000 rupees SIP for the next 25 years and you get the best possible CAGR, let's say 21% CAGR, and somebody does a SIP of 25,000 rupees, earns the worst possible CAGR, let's say 13%. Who will have more money at the end of the day? The person who saves more. So, you know, all partners and clients should understand that, you want the size of your portfolio to be bigger, let's say after 25 years. And that will be bigger if you save more, not if you generate the best possible CAGR. And CAGR is something that best possible CAGR is a lot. There are so many funds, so we can't really promise anybody to deliver the best possible CAGR. But what we have to do is force them to save more, force them to buy more equities when the market is low. So we all should be obsessed with savings and increasing our savings rather than just CAGR or the best possible fund. So our job is to build that portfolio, right? If somebody wants 3 crore rupees when they retire, that is the objective, not that it is dependent on the best possible CAGR. So I think so we need to change the way we talk to people and ignore CAGR and focus more on savings. And when it comes to time, I think so people tend to not realize this, but there are some days when you are very happy There are some days when you are very sad, and most of the time there is nothing, so gum ho ke khushi dono kuch der ke saath hi hai, and similarly it's the same with the equity market. Extremely bullish, extremely bearish, these are very small time periods, and most of the time markets will not do anything, or you will think nothing is happening in the market, but that is the journey. Extreme volatility means sometimes it will go up very high, it will fall, but most of the times it will be it will do nothing. And that is what you should get used to. And you have to have the patience to go through that journey of 25 years. जो previous slide में मैंने बताया कि 2000 रुपए नेवी एक फंड का हो गया, उसमें I think so patience and time has played the biggest role, rather than any kind of a global event or any volatility. So I think so you have to understand the power of time, and you have to be really patient. Let me go to the next slide. Under these are there are uncertainty, volatile times. What are we supposed to do? I think so what we are supposed to do is maintain status quo. जो हम एक साल पहले जब एकदम बुलिश था मार्केट, तब जो कर रहे थे वही आज करना चाहिए, या फिर जो सालों से कर रहे हैं वही आज करना चाहिए. But I think so we need to do these three things really well. One is SIPs, but with top ups. And NJ has popularized SIPs in India, in the industry. All of you have popularized SIPs everywhere, but most of these SIPs are without any top ups. Now every customer, whether salaried businessmen, they want their incomes to go up, which they are going up, but we are not you know increasing their SIPs by even 5-10%, and that is a wrong thing to do. I think so we need to do SIPs with top ups. The other thing is, which we are currently teaching everybody, and which is very powerful, which is SWPs, which is how do you get regular income, and there are a lot of people who want that from an asset class. And the third thing is non-NJ portfolio review report, which is again very powerful. So let me explain these three things to you in the coming slides. So here is an example of, let's say, 4 funds where there is no top up. So this is a 20-year SIP, 240 installments. Somebody has started an SIP of 10,000 rupees, invested 24 lakhs. CAGR is 16.44, 16.26, 17, 18. So, that 24 lakhs became 2 crore 11 lakhs, or 1 crore 69 lakhs. These are very big numbers. These are phenomenal returns, but this is without top up. So let's see what happens with top ups. So the same person has done a 10,000 rupees SIP, but with an annual top up of 10%. So the investment amount becomes 70 lakhs, 26,000. And you can see the CAGR, instead of 16.44 for Birla Flexi Cap, decreases to 15.42, which means you got lesser CAGR, but you invested more money. Instead of 24 lakhs, you invested 17 lakhs. And now you have a portfolio which with a current value of 2 crore 63 lakhs versus 1 crore 58 lakhs. So what is going to make the customer more happier, 263 or 158? But 158 with 16.44 CAGR, or 263 with 15.44. So that is why in the previous slide I had said that CAGR is overrated and savings is underrated. So let me show you one more example, which is with a 15% top up amount. And here you can see the CAGR is even gone down from 15, it has gone down to 14.88. Right? This happens because you have invested newer money, more money, and that money has not spent 20 years in the market. So the CAGR is a little lower. But whether you want 14.88% return and 3 crore 69 lakhs, or you want 1 crore 58 lakhs with 16.44, that is the real question. So the point is, you all are very good at getting SIPs, The numbers are amazing for everybody pan India, but most of those SIPs are coming without top ups, and we need to make this an habit, because ultimately the size of the portfolio or size of the savings which you have after 20 years, that matters more than CAGR. So let me go to the next thing. Now, SWPs are going to become as big as SIPs eventually. It's a newer thing. It has started recently, but it has phenomenal potential, because I believe every client who's currently doing an SIP will eventually become an SWP client. The question is whether you need to teach the power of SWP when somebody retires, or should that person learn it now. So I believe any kind of a skill, you should try to learn it before, as soon as possible, rather than wait for it. So like SIP is a life skill, SWP is a life skill or financial life skill, and you need to learn this. And to learn it, all you have to do is invest 4 5 lakh rupees and learn what an SWP is and how it works. So I have taken this particular example because this is a very strong example. 30th June 2007 is a peak of the previous bull run, or before the global financial crisis. Somebody invested 30 lakh, and this is not even an equity fund, this is an equity hybrid fund. Somebody invested 30 lakh rupees, right? Annual withdrawal is 2 lakh 40,000 rupees, which is 8% of the principal amount. Okay. And total cash flows received via SWP in 15 years, which is 2008 to 2012, is 36 lakhs. Tax is a very small component. The value of outstanding units is 49 lakhs, and your XIRR is 10%. So after withdrawing 8%, your XIRR is 10% on the capital amount. And this has happened when somebody started an SWP during the peak or a bull market. So we don't have to, like in SIPs, your investment averages out. In the same manner, SWPs also, your exits will be averaged out. So you don't really need to time your SWPs too, right? So that is why I am sharing this example, and this is a very powerful example, that after using 36 lakhs on an investment of 30 lakh, you still have 50 lakhs left, and this is just 15 years of compounding. So SWPs are very powerful, and every client needs to learn SWP as soon as possible. Let me go to the next slide. Now we have a SWP Calci on our website, and you should use it. I've just taken one example here. You can do all kinds of permutation combinations. Uh, so this is on the website, so it's live. It's a Calci. I have taken an investment amount of 3 crores, monthly withdrawal 2 lakh rupees. Yearly increase in SWP amount is 5%. What is that? That is inflation. Okay. So I have taken inflation for 5% inflation. I am expecting 12% returns. Again, this is conservative, but 12% returns. And I am starting my SWP after 1 year. So I invest 3 crores. I I want 2 lakh rupees a month. I'll start my SWP after 1 year. Then, and my investment horizon is 20 years. So let's say there is somebody who's 60. He has 3 crores. He needs 2 lakh rupees a month, and his investment horizon is 20 years. What happens? Total amount withdrawn is 7 crore 32 lakhs. Even after withdrawing that, after 20 years, you will have 7 crores left. And if you keep continuing your SWP after 20 years, right, then the estimated full life of this SWP means the day your SWP or your investment value becomes zero, that is 494 installments, which is how many years? Almost 40 years. So somebody who has 3 crore rupees today needs 2 lakh rupees today, right? Should not really, and that person is, let's say, 60, should not really worry about his lifestyle for the next 40 years. But that is if you generate 12% return. What happens if that person is not financially literate? That person, instead of trusting our partners or mutual funds, will go to a bank. Then what happens? So that is the next example. If you have 3 crore rupees, you need 2 lakh rupees a month, but you invest in a product that where your expected return is 5%. Okay, everything else remains the same. Your money will last for 13 years, 13.5 years instead of 40 years, right? So that is the power of 12%. That is the power of a good distributor or a good NJ partner, that you can, somebody who has 3 crore rupees has to not worry for the next 40 years, versus if that person is financially illiterate or that person does not trust any of our partners, then this is what is going to happen. So I think so this is very powerful. The calculator is there on the website. You can create various scenarios. These are just two examples which I have created. So let me go to the next slide. Now the third thing which I said which you should do is non-NJ portfolio review report, which is there on our website. Again, we have conducted trainings on that. There will be videos available in the library section. And I just wanted to highlight how powerful that tool is. So what I've done is, in the June month, the month of June, last month, which means in my particular zone, we did 804 reviews. Okay. And this is the data for that. So the cash or the consolidated account statement AUM, which was uploaded into the system, was 198 crores, out of which 96 crores in equity, 96, almost 97 crores were not in NJ code or not in the partners code. In NJ's code, we had just 65 crores, which means per client non-equity AUM was 12 lakhs, which is outside NJ. And the same client, let's say if it is the same client, then the client had only 8 lakh rupees in NJ. So somebody who has an 8 lakh rupees AUM, equity AUM in NJ, has 12 lakh rupees outside NJ, okay, with some other distributor, maybe a bank, which means that 8 can become 20, okay, if you get that 12 in our code. So you can increase your AUM by 150% from the same client you are currently handling, who has given you 8 lakh 10,000 rupees, has 12 lakh rupees outside NJ. And if you get that, if you do a portfolio review, and if you can convince him that I will better manage this money, which I have seen a lot of such reports, you can easily do, then from your existing clients, you can increase your AUM by 150%. To give you an example of that, if I do this at an NJ level, NJ is today at 1,20,000 crores AUM. 150% of 1,20,000 crores is 1,80,000 crores. Okay. So from 1,20,000 crores, we can go to 3 lakh crores from our existing investors. So this is a small example. This is just 804 customers. This is just my zone. But whatever that number will be, the point is, your existing clients have money in mutual funds with other distributors, which you should try and bring it to your code. And that can bring you a lot of growth in this very, uncertain market. So that is my third advice to you. And these are the homeworks which you are supposed to do. Please make it compulsory to add top-ups to every SIP that you are starting from tomorrow. uh, every existing SIP customer should learn the power of SWP, which means SIP कितनी आपको SWP बेचनी है, जितनी आज आपकी SIP चालू है या फिर जितने क्लाइंट्स की SIP चालू है, वो सब क्लाइंट से मुझे एक SWP चाहिए. और द थर्ड थिंग दैट वी हैव टू डू इज ऑल आर एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंट्स का अपने को नॉन एनजे पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू रिपोर्ट बनाना है. सो इफ यू डू दिस थ्री थिंग्स, I think so we will do justice to our time and it will bring us a lot of growth in the future. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, I will answer them now.
या तो मनीष कुछ क्वेश्चंस है.
Yeah.
एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि इज इट पॉसिबल टू टॉप अप अ रनिंग SIP?
Sarfraz, you will have to help me with that. I think so it should be, but I'm not.
You will have to stop the current SIP and then restart it with top up option.
Yeah. So I think so that's why I said that all the new SIPs from the next month or tomorrow should have top-ups inbuilt into them.
एक क्वेश्चन है कि SWP में कंपटीशन क्या है एंड हाउ आर वी बेटर इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स?
आई थिंक तो SWP में तो लोग पोस्ट ऑफिस वो कुछ LIC का के वो प्रधानमंत्री सम आई फॉरगॉट द नेम सीनियर सिटीजन स्कीम है, उसमें लिमिट है 15 लाख रुपए का. बैंक में कुछ FD टाइप प्रोडक्ट्स हो सकते हैं, पोस्ट ऑफिस में हो सकते हैं. रियल एस्टेट इज अ बिग कॉम्पिटिटर टू SWP because I think a lot of people buy real estate for regular income rather than capital appreciation. But not everybody can do that because capital थोड़ा ज्यादा चाहिए रियल एस्टेट लेने के लिए. But if you compare it with any of those products, there is no product where your capital multiplies. Okay, if the product gives you regular income, then you can't do both, right? Real estate is the only where you can say कि मुझे 4-5-3-4% भाड़ा भी मिला और मेरा कैपिटल भी बढ़ा. That is only real estate. But real estate में, if you look at the last 8 years, okay, I have been living in Mumbai since the last 8 years. I had bought a house in 2003. I got zero appreciation, and there is a National Housing Board index also, which shows real estate returns across India and in cities like Mumbai, even across suburbs. There, across all metros in India for the last 7 years, you have got zero returns. So zero capital appreciation. And the rental yield is 2-3%. So real estate is far more risky. It requires a lot of capital. It does not have liquidity. And in real estate, what happens is on day one, when you buy that house, you are down by 15-20%. Registration, broker, stamp duty, VAT, whatever, GST. So you are down, your capital is down by 10-15% on day one. And how much time do you need to come back to 100? So I think so the only thing that can give you regular income and capital appreciation is real estate, but which is very risky and it requires a lot of money. It doesn't have liquidity and there are many issues around that. So this is the competition, but so there is no competition according to me. But what people don't know is experience. Distributors need to be convinced when they sell enough SWPs, when they see it working, right? So if, let's say, 3 years ago, if all our partners had sold 5 or 10 SWPs, okay, then the kind of conviction they would have today will be far, far higher because they have experienced it. So my suggestion is every client, every partner should learn SWPs with a smaller amount. No need to bring in 30 lakhs, 2 crores, 5 crores, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Learn. And with conviction, the remaining amount will come. But if you don't teach, the conviction is lacking. So you will never get that 3 crores which somebody is ready to give to a builder, that you will never get. To get that 3 crores, first you need to bring in 3 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 30 lakhs. Then you will get that 3 crores from the same customer. So we need to build conviction with actual examples.
एक क्वेश्चन ये था कि कितना परसेंटेज ईयरली SWP देना चाहिए? 6%, 7% या 8%?
I think so. 6 is enough. 6 is conservative enough. And the other thing which I would suggest is that you should, if you can wait for 1 year and start it later, that would be an even more conservative thing to do. Yeah. So six is and 6 is enough. How many places do customers get 6% tax free? Probably none, right? So 6 is enough, I think so.
और फंड कौन सा बेटर रहेगा, आई मीन हाइब्रिड और बैलेंस एडवांटेज?
I think so. We have a SWP from Mars portfolios. So rather than trying to do that, you should use the Mars SWP. I think so. The portfolios that we have in Mars. We also have balance advantage portfolio and various things in Mars. So we should use the Mars thing rather than trying to do this.
या मोर और लेस यही क्वेश्चंस है.
Right. Right. So we should end it, Sarfraz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarfraz, for being with me on this session, and thank you to all the partners for listening. I think so. I'll just repeat what I just said. What is happening currently in the market is not something that has not happened. It has happened multiple times, and there's nothing to worry about that. Rather, you need to work harder and use this as an opportunity. And SIPs should come with top ups. Please teach SWPs to all your customers, and please try to do the non-NJ portfolio review of all your existing customers. So that brings me to the end of our today's talk. Thank you to everybody for being on this call. Have a good day. Thank you.